It takes personal strength to go against the culture. You'll hear Sally say this in our conversation, and you'll notice this theme runs through the entire chat. The physical act of being vegan these days is quite easy. Those actions we take, the questions we ask, is this vegan, or is there a vegan option or opportunity? The answer is very often yes. We have opportunities every day to spend our money differently, to show up in a way that supports, as you'll see in Sally's business name, a boon for all. It is the emotional and social aspects where we still see so much holding people back. Being different is never easy. Our society is structured to reward those who maintain the status quo. But changing the world isn't supposed to be easy. And you're not alone. So, at the end of this episode, if you're ready to tackle meeting that pushback, you'll have all of the info you need to contact Sally or me to help you move through and find a thriving vegan life for yourself too. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 143 of Did You Bring the Hummus podcast. I'm Kimberly, your host, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. Did You Bring the Hummus is a podcast for all things vegan. Before we get started, I have one very important question for you. Did you bring the hummus? Today, I am joined by Sally Malanga, founder of Boon for All. Boon for All is a plant-powered, life-changing brand featuring plant-based Boon broth and Boon Collagen Reviver. Sally is the voice in the inbox that inspires a second look, the strategist behind a better future, and the woman who can rebrand a wellness product, fire off a fiery town council email, and make you believe a baked potato can change your life. Sally talks about life, BVC, before vegan cheese, being a pioneer in vegan beauty products, what led her to create Boon for All, how to elevate what we create and what we buy. This episode is full of education and inspiration. Hey, Sally, welcome.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here with you.
I am so happy you are here with me. Let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell me about your vegan journey?
My vegan journey, to be brief, because who really wants to hear that? I don't know.
You'd be surprised. And the reason I ask, if you're curious, and you didn't say you were, but I'll tell you anyway, is because storytelling is so powerful. And a lot of my listeners are pre-vegans. So I like to think that there is someone waiting for this episode. And when it comes out, they are going to hear your story. And they either will relate to how you grew up or what you're doing now or something like that. And they'll go, Sally did it. Maybe I can do it too.
All right. We need, yes, and we need everybody in this.
That's right.
So my vegan journey started when I was in the living room of my childhood home in Matawan, New Jersey. And my father was a big intellectual. He was an entrepreneur, and he was a big reader. So there was a special custom-made bookshelf. It was dark in there, it was just wall-to-wall books. And I happened to go step up to it and say, I wonder what I could read of these things. Some of them were very old, with the fabric bindings and the gold lettering. And I picked one of those. So what book was it? Upton Sinclair, The Jungle, written 1906. And what is that about? I mean, everyone should read it. He's one of the, America's first muckrakers, industry exposers, and it was about the meatpacking industry in Chicago. So, and it was very descriptive. And the meat packing, the stockyards in Chicago were open to the public. And I mean, the smell must have been horrendous, but there was boardwalks where you could go and stand and you could watch all the animals. You could see what was going on. You can see some of them getting killed. And, you know, it was really a spectacle, but it was filthy. It was dusty, it was cruel, and many of the workers actually got slaughtered in there too. It wasn't just the animals. The workers would slip and fall into the mess and they would die too. Yeah. So that's why he wrote that book, to expose what was going on. So here we are today, 2026, and it hasn't changed that much, except you don't go to watch it. They don't want you to. You know, they will keep you away with all sorts of legal machinations, you know, ag gag laws. They don't want filming. They don't want anything. And so at age 14, you know, I'm wondering about this book, you know, is this, but when you're young, and I always admired the teenagers who told their parents they were going to be vegan. They weren't going to eat meat anymore. I didn't do that. It sat with me. And I think what people could realize today is that it takes strength, personal strength to go against the culture. Yeah. Because humans we are a self-deceptive species, and we can deceive ourselves when we don't want to suffer, and seeing animals being harmed would cause us to suffer. And that's why this is taking so long to stop, because the people who don't want to suffer don't want to know about it either. Yeah. So in our household, we ate the classic modern technology food. You know, my parents were modern parents, and they weren't in the kitchen. No, we were going out for hamburgers. We were eating TV dinners with the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the green beans all nicely organized.
The little brownie off to the side.
Yeah, the little brownie. We love that, and the chicken pot pies. You know, you just heat them up. And so all this modern technology was freeing up our family to go out and have fun and go sailing and you know, go to the garden center like we used to do, and all kinds of things that we enjoyed. But eating, no, we were not good eaters. I was trained in this. You know, my mother would pick us up from school, and we'd stop to get a bucket of Chicken Delight, fried chicken in a cardboard bucket. And that was fine. But something, you know, so something in me there was a seed planted. Definitely was a seed planted since age 14. So are you going to ask me now, well, what happened? What you're now?
Yeah, take us around the way. So when did you go vegan?
Yeah, you're one of the leading annoying vegans on this planet. So over time, it starts to sink in, but wasn't good information back then. I read a book by Adele Davis about nutrients and things, and you know, even Dr. John McDougall, you know, the world's greatest nutrition doctor, in the beginning, all he did to change his diet when he started to become aware of how dangerous eating meat was. He told his wife, now we're going to add some fiber to our meals. That's what he told his wife. So it takes a while to extricate yourself, but it shouldn't. Today is different. Yeah. So I finally did extricate myself. It took a number of years, but it meant being different from everybody. And I finally, you know, in my early 20s, as I like to say, BVC. You know what BVC is?
No, tell me.
Before vegan cheese.
Ah, yes.
Yep, that's when I said it, and I did it, and just stopped ordering that stuff. When we went out to eat, stopped buying it. And then it was, what? Why did this take so long? It wasn't that hard. I didn't starve to death.
Mm-hmm.
I, I, I didn't turn into bones. I was actually doing just fine. My hair looked good. My skin looks great. So the question I always ask is, why isn't everybody doing this already?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that you've answered it a couple times, right? By talking about how hard it is for people to go against the grain, do
You
something
have,
different.
yes,
Yeah.
it's hard for people because their families might give them a hard time. The families might not understand it. So what do? You get a buddy. You do it with a buddy. You do it
Yeah.
with anybody, somebody, even if it's an online buddy or an Instagram buddy or a friend nearby, and you do it together.
Mm-hmm.
And you just replace that dead chicken or that dead cow's meat, with something more alive and more tasty,
Yeah.
right? Which is what everyone loves, potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Eat potatoes. If you
Yeah.
don't know what to do, eat potatoes.
I love that. That's solid advice. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
eat potatoes until you pull yourself forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is your experience, Kimberly, but I find since, eating out is a big thing these days,
Mm-hmm.
that when I eat out with friends or family, uh, they want to scan the menu for what I can order first.
Mm.
I mean, they must think I have 2 seconds to live and they better just feed me right away. And they start looking here, you can have this and you can have this. I see, pasta with kale. I see, I see avocado toast for you. I see potatoes and, sauteed kale and everything else. So yeah, here's what you can have. And I say, it's all great. It's all great.
Yeah. I love that you have people in your life who are doing that, who are looking at the menu and thinking, can Sally eat here? That's wonderful. Yeah. A lot of people don't have that.
They don't? What kind of friends do
No.
they have? What
I
kind
know
of friends?
I have been so sad and disappointed when I hear people who will say like, yeah, my friends, they invite me out and they go, this is where we want to go. So check out the menu. And there are some people where if they said, actually, there's nothing here, and even like I called the restaurant to see if they could, make something special, and they said no, that the people who had invited them to join them for dinner would be like, all right, well, you want to meet us at the bar after? Instead of saying like, well, where can you eat? Which
Oh,
would be like what you'd expect someone who loves you or cares about you, wants to spend time with you, would
right.
do. Yeah.
Right. So what do you think? Get new family, get new friends if they do that to you? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Or, I think in those situations, you have to reassess, like, if they are people you still want in your life, it becomes, then what do I do with them instead? They become a friend where we go to a museum together because we're both into art and we don't have lunch afterwards, that kind of stuff, I guess. And the people who are willing to look at the menu, those are the ones that you go and have a nice meal with. Yeah.
Nowadays, though, you can always find something on
It
the
is a lot
menus.
easier. You are right about that.
And if you're like me, you kind of want to drive the mission forward. So you'll make a big fuss in a nice way. What are your
Mhm.
vegan options? I might not even scan the menu. I might just do it like what I tell my husband. He says, "Are you looking at the menu?" I said, "No. Why not? I'm just going to ask the waitress to tell me what they can do for vegans."
Hmm.
And so we then open the menu together, and they have to think about it, and that's important because
It is.
vegans have money, and we're important customers, and they're realizing it. They know what the word vegan means now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a problem. Although sometimes they'll say, look, I don't eat meat, dairy, or fish. What do you recommend?
Right. Yeah. We're both in New Jersey, and my parents now live down near the shore. I was when I was with them for those 2 weeks in May, we after they came home, we went out to just pick up food. And my dad had wanted pizza, so we were stopping at a pizza place. My dad's not vegan. My mom is, so she and I had ordered Chinese food. So we'd already gotten that, and we stopped to get the pizza for my dad. And I thought, like, I'd looked at their menu while we were waiting for his pizza to heat up. I looked at the menu, and I didn't see a single vegan option. Like, even the salads were covered in eggs and cheese and bacon. And so I asked, do you guys have any vegan options, or are you able to make like a vegan pizza? And the lady who was at the register, she just went, I don't know. And then she turned around to, I guess, a manager, the owner, and asked the question, very confused. And he just went, no.
Right. Right. I'm not doing that.
Like, no. What are you looking for? Zero interest in being creative or thoughtful. So you run into that a little bit too. But thankfully in New Jersey, we do have a lot more places that are at least like, okay, what are you looking for?
Yes.
We can do that. Yeah, I'd love to try to make something for you. Or they're like, here's our secret vegan menu. If you ask for it, here it is.
That's right. That's right. And there's a restaurant here in Montclair called Faubourg.
Okay.
They do have a secret vegan menu. And their chef is like, to me, he or she is like a Michelin star chef. So it's so good.
Yeah, nice.
But you have to ask for it. And we go there, we ask for it, and we get the most beautifully prepared, arranged dishes with asparagus and sauces and grains. And I mean, it's just beautiful to look at and wonderful to eat. And I look around at me, people are eating the usual, steaks and things like that. And I think they don't even know that they could have this. And it's so fantastic. So, look, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's very important to do, and done right, everyone can benefit, because right now the planet is in trouble, and people are going to lose, this era of cheap meat. It's going to end. It's going to end. So people really, it behooves them to start to learn how to feed themselves in a way that is continuous. It's got a supply of food that's, regular, and that, you'll always have access to, because growing all these cows and then killing them, and the chickens and the lambs, killing them for food, so-called food, really non-food, is, in the long run, it's going to be replaceable. It's going to be old-fashioned. It's going to be something that just isn't done anymore. It's not going to make it.
Yeah.
It uses too much land, too much water. The planet's heating up. It's just not manageable.
Right.
And too many people are dropping dead from it.
Yeah.
Really want to eat your steak and lose your freedom? You're going to lose your freedom.
Right.
You're going to be, overweight, stiff, sick, demented, and broke, because you're going to lose all your money too.
Yep. So come on over here and be vegan with the rest of us.
Yeah, be vegan. Enter the Garden of Eden and be vegan. The word vegan, it can be very annoying to people. So, and because it comes across as holier than thou. I'm going to be better than you. I have better self-discipline. right? Look at you, that, you are just, eating all this industrial slop, and, we vegans are better than that. So people are funny. We really have to be cognizant of that
Yeah.
as well, of that viewpoint, especially when we're trying to make a cultural change.
Right. Yeah. And I love using the word vegan, and I know that people do have that kind of reaction to it. And
Mhm.
part of the reason why I keep doing it is
Mhm.
because for me, it feels the most natural and it makes the most sense to me. So I'm able to be more authentic and clear when I'm having conversations about things. But also, I kind of want to be a person that makes that word not scary for people or not annoying, or that they don't see me that I think I'm better than them. And like the reason why being vegan is easy for me is because I made that mental shift to where all of those things that are not vegan simply aren't food. They aren't products to me. So it's not even a thought. It is easy that way because my perspective is different. But before my perspective was different, there were moments where it was like, I wish that this were easier. And then so it just takes time. But I love to be the person who still uses that word and shows people a gentler way of being and a more open way of being. I would never tell someone, well, just be vegan except bacon. I've heard people say that because my thing is that word means something. And when we start adding things that aren't vegan to it, it makes it confusing. It makes it hard and dangerous for people like us. Like we were just talking about going out to eat. If somebody thinks that vegan means plants and bacon, it's just like it doesn't mean anything anymore. So I do get a little precious about it, some people tell me, but the reason that I still use that word is because of I feel like I've got a different approach, and again, like I said, it's more authentic to me to present it that way.
Well, that's bold and honorable and courageous. So I heard that what vegan means is very enthusiastic guardians of animals and nature.
I love that.
Who could object to that?
Right? That is wonderful and accurate. We are
Everyone
very
calls
enthusiastic.
everyone calls themselves an animal lover, and so they've got to live up to it.
Yeah.
No, so if you say, "Oh, I love animals," do you eat them? Yeah.
Mm.
Well, what about those animals? How much you love
Right.
them?
Yeah, and then they have to sit with that, like, oh, I meant my dog.
I met my dog, and I love eating them. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, Sally, you've got some cool stuff going on, and you have been in the vegan product space for a long time. I remember when we were both part of the Main Street Vegan Academy cohort last year, and I remember Victoria Moran being so thrilled that you were part of it, and she was so excited for all of us to meet you and learn about where you've been and what you've been up to. And now you're working on, or you have not working on, you have this company called Boon for All. What is that about? Can you tell me all the good things?
Well, that's actually a new brand that's only a few years old. I actually started Ecobella, which means "Behold Beautiful" in Italian, many more years ago, and we sold our cruelty-free cosmetics to health food stores, which is kind of a bizarre way of selling cosmetics, but they wanted it, and we sold it to them. And the origination of that was I had met a woman who snuck a video camera into the laboratories at Gillette.
Mm.
And we were both volunteers at the nonprofit Friends of Animals, which is, I'm still on their board. And so we talked about, well, you know, Gillette's doing this. Consumers wouldn't like it if they knew it. Let's let consumers know. And we'll put pressure on Gillette. So we made postcards with bunny rabbits on them, and we took them to the mall. We set up a table, and we invited people to come step up to the table, see the postcard, sign it, and then we would stamp it where it said, Gillette, I won't buy your products unless you stop animal testing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went right for it and we started mailing in these postcards. And at the same time, PETA was just being born, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. There was the Anti-Vivisection Society. They were going after this too. Just a little couple of people in the mall doing it. And the bigger organizations were really going after it. But it seemed that right around that time, these companies did take notice, and some of them stopped, some of them hid it even more.
Mm.
And there's nonprofits that do go and make lists, who's hiding it, who isn't hiding it. So you can still find that out. I don't know which ones are doing what, 'cause I never buy their stuff. We don't need to shampoo our hair every day. We don't need to buy that. We don't need to wash our clothes with laundry detergent. We can use those special discs that just raise the pH of water. So, I mean, I can save people a lot of money with all these things that they're doing that they don't need to do anymore.
Yeah.
That they've been told to do by industry wants to sell them stuff. So that's a couple of things, you don't have to participate in these companies. And that's how I always viewed it from a commercial point of view. See, there's two ways of doing this. One is it through the nonprofits. The nonprofits do all the research. Well, this is happening. Our researchers are finding out all this is going on in these big companies. And we're just exposing it. And then there's the commercial aspect. So I decided to follow the commercial aspect, which was start a company named Ecobella, Behold Beautiful, that would not sell any product tested on animals and would make a big deal out of it. And so that's what we did. And it took a while to get it up and running. And I realized that many commercial body care, makeup products also had a lot of unsavory ingredients in them besides the animal testing. There was animal ingredients. There still is today a big drive for tallow, for example, which is animal fat.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of colorants and preservatives and things in these commercial products. So we started to make our products like they were food. Using organic ingredients. Organic aloe is one of my favorite ingredients. It's 3,000-year-old anti-aging remedy, and it's fantastic for skin. So, that was how we conducted business. And we set an example. Of course, people shopped in health food stores, wanted pure products. That was the whole point. So that's where we went. And then I realized that those people, I couldn't help them be beautiful if they were still eating meat, ice cream, yogurt, cheese. I can't help you with your skin if you're doing that. I'm an expert in skincare and beauty. And so the only way you're going to have beautiful skin in this lifetime, after the age of 30, is by going plant-based. Every bite of an animal product will destroy your skin through inflammation and through depriving you of what your body actually really needs. So the Mediterranean diet is not good enough. It really has to be plant-based whole foods. So I started a company, or more of a brand, Boon for All People, Animals, Planet, because it's all tied together. And I happen to love soup. I think soup is a fantastic way to feed yourself. It's inexpensive, it's nutritious, it's comforting, it's warm. It's like, it's like a warm bath for your gut. And so I said, I'm going to make, I see all people make all these green drinks and all this stuff. There's a million of those. I'm not going to do that. But broth, we need some broth.
Mm.
And people think that when they drink animal broth, called bone broth, that somehow it has ground up animal bones in it, and that it will give them protein and minerals and all the secret stuff that's going to be in the bones, that's going to be released to them in their bodies. And none of it is true. It's all marketing. So I found a study from King's College London from 1933. They were talking about this then.
That's
the
crazy.
Scientists boiled the bones in water. They measured the water. Not much is in this water. There's not a trace of minerals. There's some collagen, or there's some gelatin, which is a terrible protein because it doesn't have all the amino acids. So they proved it then. But when something catches on, it just goes and goes and goes. It doesn't matter if it's true. And people make up things. I've spoken to people say, oh, well, I eat animal bone broth because it helps my stomach. Well, how?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in it that would help you. In fact, it could cause you harm because it comes from the animal industry and it's filthy. So I created a easy to make powdered broth from dehydrated seaweed, which doesn't taste like seaweed at all. It's neutral, but it is loaded with all the minerals that people think they're getting from bones and are not. So we added pea protein, mung bean protein, and we added some anti-inflammatories, the famous ones, turmeric, curcumin, a number of spices. And it actually has 3 different seaweeds in it. It has some dulse, it has some yellow chlorella. It's got a beautiful golden color. It tastes yummy. And you can drink it straight after, 5 minutes. You just get some hot water and blend a tablespoon in the hot water. Drink it that way. Or get out those veggies you don't know what to do with that are in your refrigerator, chop them up, chop up that broccoli, chop up that asparagus and put it in. The soup will heat it up. Add some leftover rice or those meltable noodles that everyone likes, the ramen noodles or the mung bean noodles. And you've got yourself an inexpensive meal that's filling in 10 minutes.
I love that.
Yeah. So was my big idea. And we sell the product on our website, boonforall.com. We sell it on Amazon. And it's getting some very good reviews.
Nice.
We want people to like it and reorder it. I mean, the point is that animal products are trigger foods. So we want to get people off of these trigger foods. They're triggering the inflammation. They're triggering the brain fog. They're triggering the skin sagging and the acne and all that. And so we want to help wean people off of that with something delicious and filling, and so they won't miss it. And that's where a Boon Broth reset comes in handy. So we have guide, 30 recipes. I mean, you can make Caesar salad dressing with it. You can make macaroni and cheese, no cheese, obviously, but you can do all that with it. And it will just amp up the nutritional value of whatever you make.
Okay.
So it's like a good friend that you could always have with you. You'll never be hungry. You'll always be soothed, satisfied, and you should never be hungry. People should not go around hungry because the hunger drive is impossible to battle.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Right? It's just a matter of what you give it. So if you're going to succumb and pull into McDonald's and give it a Whopper or something like that, then you've made a huge mistake. But if you're going to be prepared and you have Boon broth with some veggies, there you've just given your hunger exactly what it needs and without hurting yourself or an animal.
And in only like 10 minutes, give or
10
take.
minutes is powder. Yeah, it's a powder.
Yeah.
That's it. It lasts a long time.
That's wonderful. I love that. I wasn't really into soup as a child. My mom would make Mrs. Grass chicken noodle soup from like a box. And she would use that sometimes to make rice as well. She'd make the rice in that soup broth. But other than that, I was not interested in soup. As an adult and a vegetarian and then vegan adult, I have discovered soup and how amazing it is. And so to have something, because you're right, it is so comforting and like soothing, and it really just kind of makes you feel safe. And then while it's doing all these really nice things for you, which we so often can attribute to when we're eating mac and cheese or potatoes or things like that, it's giving us all these nutrients. And it's really good for us. And like, that's a big win, if you ask me.
It's a very big win because even if you are a healthy eater and you're eating produce, a lot of the soil has been so beaten down that the soil isn't providing the minerals that we thought it was. Right. So right now, seaweed is the source. It really is. It's almost endless if we don't destroy the oceans any further, but it really is a source of fabulous, cruelty-free nutrition.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love this, and I'm thankful that you have come up with this idea. There's another part to your Boon company, the Boon Collagen Reviver.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's another delusion that people are under, primarily women, I hate to say. We women are suckers. We buy any beauty hype, anything. We'll stand online to be taken advantage of at some beauty counter. So the latest hype is collagen, animal collagen. Right. Do most people even know where it comes from? It was a waste product of the slaughterhouses. To me, they just sweep it off the floor and then they turn it into a product because it comes from the skin and the cartilage of these poor, abused, dead animals, cows, pigs, chickens, and fish. And people, what do you think? People believe that if you eat collagen, somehow you're going to grow collagen. It's going to glue itself right to those crow's feet on your eyes. That's where that collagen's going. And I would say after about 30 days of doing that and looking in the mirror and not seeing any change, this thing should have passed by now, but they're just tripling down on it. Collagen gummies, collagen in their coffee. It's just expensive protein powder and not even complete protein. Right. So what a waste of money. I could save people so much money on this. So what do? How do we protect our collagen? What's Mother Nature's way of doing it? When you don't know what to do, look around, see what Mother Nature is doing. So what's breaking down our collagen? Actually, ironically, eating browned meat causes these chemicals in the body that latch onto your collagen fibers and cause them to look like tic-tac-toe boards.
Yikes.
Stay away from brown meat, which people don't, but they will eventually. And the sun breaks us down. The sun cleans everything. The sun breaks us down so the world can all start over, right?
Yeah.
So how do beings who spend so many hours in the sun protect themselves? Well, if you're a salmon or a lobster, you are eating seaweed. otherwise known as sea algae. And that algae has something in it called a carotenoid. Think of carrots, think of the orange in carrots. In sea algae, it's red. Primarily something funny called astaxanthin, which we just wrote a blog that's astaxanthin may be the most important beauty nutrient you never heard of. But astaxanthin is what makes salmon orange or red. It's in their skin. You see it working in nature.
Yeah.
It makes a flamingo pink. It makes a lobster pink. That's their protection against the aging rays of the sun. It works the same way in humans. So they've given humans some of this astaxanthin from the algae, lycopene from tomatoes, which I think lots of people have heard of. They've done a good job marketing it, right? Yeah. Lutein from spinach or marigolds, bright yellow marigolds, things like that. Those are all carotenoids. So anything that's orange, purple, red have the carotenoids. Your body knows. It's so smart. It goes, oh, she just ate a tomato. I know exactly where to put that lycopene. It's going right under her nose skin, going right in her cheeks, going right in those crow's feet. So head to toe, that's where the carotenoids are. And they could actually take a sample of your skin and they can measure how much is there.
Wow.
But if you don't eat it, you will not have that inner shield. So if you're eating browned meat, you're causing yourself wrinkles, right? And you're depriving yourself of these bright reds, yellows, oranges, watermelon, beets, all that stuff that will actually protect your wrinkles. So, yeah. Well, I should say protect your collagen from wrinkles. Protect your collagen so that it'll last longer.
Yeah, that's so great. Thank you for sharing that. I think about all of these beauty products and the price of so many of them. And like you said, this like, oh, well, you need to intake this collagen, this animal-based collagen to save your collagen. And it even, I thought of, because you mentioned Gillette earlier, and now we're talking about this, how women, for as long as we probably have been writing about experiences and relationships and documenting stuff, telling stories even, it's always about how we can be more something for men, whether or not we're interested in them or like, you know what I mean? And so I remember when I first read the story about how razors started to market to women because they realized men are only buying razors, these street razors every once in a while. So how do we keep this business going? We're going to get women to believe that their body hair that grows on them naturally is disgusting. And other women will think they're not pretty, and men will think they're unattractive. So let's get them. And now they're going to buy all of these razors, and they're going to be better customers than the men. And so I remember being in 8th grade and noticing, we were out on the during recess and noticing the sun hit my leg and feeling, oh no, I have to start shaving. I was humiliated that someone may have seen that, because even by the age of 13, 14, we are led to believe that women are hairless. And so now it's also well, how do we stay looking as young as possible for as long as possible? And we can see, I think there's a lot that we didn't realize was behind that. That's really come into the forefront in the last couple of years as to what has driven that keep women looking as young as possible for as long as possible. And that's a whole other conversation we won't get into today. But we as women, we have just been led to believe for so long that this is just how it is. you have to stay beautiful forever. And God forbid you start to look your age. It's always like, oh my God, you can't be, 52. Oh, you don't look a day over 45. And like, that's some compliment. Like, who decided that that's a compliment? Why can't at 52 you just be 52 and be happy with it? And like, what else are you doing in life? And tell me what your favorite activity is, not like how you stop your crow's feet from showing up when you have them because you're full of joy, because you're laughing. This is proof that you have enjoyed so much of your life. And you want to erase that because our society has told us, nobody wants to look at you when you look like that. You look too old or whatever. So I love the idea of what you're doing with this natural approach to just helping your body be as healthy as you can for as long as you can, so that you can enjoy life and do things, live longer. Like in the US, for sure, we spend a lot more time dying than living. And when we are eating plants and we're caring for our skin and we're caring for our health, we have the opportunity to be someone in their 90s, still living life, not waiting to die because we're sick. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox now. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's a massive wake-up call.
Yeah.
But human beings, we like to follow what other people do as well. We like to say we're independent and, we're mavericks and we do our own thing. But you know what? You see a line, everyone's standing on line, you run and get on it too. And then you have, what's everyone waiting for?
Like, what are we getting today?
Yeah. Yes. So
yeah,
we're a combination, and it takes a little thought to go with what you're saying about, you may end up looking your age, but people who eat plant-based whole foods look very robust. They don't age the same way. Right. So, and let's face it, aging, it does kind of hollow out your face, and, it's not, you're not as pretty as you once were. That's a fact. It just is. But as whole food, plant-based eaters, we're going to look pretty radiant forever.
Yeah.
And we can see it, like if you've ever seen Chef Babette.
Yes.
She is an, African-American chef. She can do, she could last year do 72 push-ups.
Oh, she's so cool.
Yeah, her skin is perfect. Yep. And she's now, I guess she's 74 or so, I suppose, but she's a very good example of how to age well.
Yeah.
And, if you aren't aging well, to your point, if you're just waiting to die and you're spending a lot of time having your medications adjusted, and when the medication has so many side effects, you're falling down, right? Or you can't focus. Is it even worth it to live that long? Maybe it's best to go earlier and start over next life.
Yeah. Right.
We're just marks right now. We're just marks for the food industry. We're marks for the big pharma, right? We're marks for the oil industry. That's it. That's all we are. We're walking little purses for them. Yep. And they're all fellow humans.
I know, right?
Right.
It's hard to believe that sometimes. It does feel like there is definitely an us and a them, and we're the dollar signs, and they're the ones who are taking advantage of it. And
I'm selling something too.
Right. But
something as well.
exactly.
I want everyone to buy it too.
Yeah.
But that's how our economy works right now.
Mm-hmm.
We buy stuff from each other, but let's at least elevate what we buy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there is a way to, because we need stuff. We do. Whether it's food or things to, enjoy life in a different way, or, yeah, we do. And so I'm not saying like we should not buy things, but there's one thing where you're creating something from this place of care and this place of how can I serve my fellow humans and the other sentient beings on this planet, keeping them, at the forefront of things. And then there's just seeing other people as dollar signs and other sentient beings as commodities. And that is where I think the harm really comes when we talk about buying and selling things. So
Right.
I didn't mean to sound like I was lumping you in with such.
No, I have to lump myself in a way. I have to be honest. No, I have to be honest that I'm also selling something. But
Yeah.
when I sell something, it's for people, animals, and planet. Whereas some of these other operations are outsourcing the expenses that we all have to pick up the tab for all the environmental damage they're doing because they're just selling a hamburger. Well, how did you get it? You got it by destroying that forest and that river and all those animals and those workers.
Mm-hmm.
And you forgot about that part, didn't you? You're just selling this hamburger wrapped up.
Yeah.
And so it's up to us to keep harping on it. Because I think people do want to be ethical, but that right now they're being given permission to be unethical.
Mm-hmm.
And so nobody's punishing them except they'll be punished when they get sick, but nobody's punishing them because humans write the laws. We write the laws,
Right.
and animals have no say in it. And so you can just always say, well, I'm just eating this chicken because everyone else can do it. Nobody's telling me I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there are consequences, and that's where, we come in and we want to explain it. We want to get as many people to listen as possible so that we can help them. That's the goal.
Yeah. What a wonderful conversation, Sally. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
I've got one more question for you.
I think it's about hummus, and I better be prepared for this quiz.
No one ever sees this one coming. How does hummus show up in your life?
Yeah, that's funny. Well, let me ask you a question. Why is this podcast called I'll Bring the Hummus?
So it's called Did You Bring the Hummus?
Did you bring it? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's built off of a meme of dinosaurs. There's 3 dinosaurs up in the corner, like the T-Rex dinosaurs, and they're at a grill. And then there's like the vegetarian dinosaur coming in at the bottom saying, I brought the hummus. And then I thought that makes perfect sense because how often have we been at a party or at a restaurant where someone says, oh, well, you can eat the hummus. Like there's hummus here for you. So I thought it was also relatable to us vegans, fun for people who aren't vegan yet, because they'll be like, what is this about? And so that's how it all came to be.
Got it. And that's funny. It's a very memorable name.
Thank you.
And I have mixed feelings about hummus because on the one hand, I think it can be one of the most important foods on the planet. It could solve world hunger.
Mm.
It's inexpensive. It's easy to make. It's delicious. All cultures like it. And, but on the other hand, if I go to another party and I see hummus in a bowl with crudités, I'm not sure. So, but the newer hummuses add all the different flavors can be very delicious if it's done in a little more interesting way. Very, very delicious. I had a delicious roasted red pepper hummus on a sandwich with avocado and some vegetables.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I tried to duplicate it. Of course, I couldn't. Oh well, but so hummus is a very good thing. I've had coconut hummus in Turks and Caicos in a little cafe there. I thought, wow, what a good thing this is. I can't make that either, but it was a good idea when I had it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So hummus is a staple, and it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of also is a preamble to falafel. How about that?
Oh yeah.
Same chickpeas.
Yep. Yeah. How often do you see that the one vegan option where you're somewhere is a falafel wrap?
Yes.
With hummus.
I had that the other day. Yes.
Yeah.
But you put that with a little rice and some lentil soup, and you got a great Middle Eastern meal. That's fantastic and filling, and
good.
No complaints.
Right. You could use your Boon broth in that soup.
You can use Boon broth in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes with everything.
Awesome. Sally, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait for my listeners to hear our chat. It was so fun.
I can't wait either. I can't wait for all the phone calls and emails I'm going to
That's
get.
right. All the orders coming in on your website. Absolutely. Yes. Get out there and buy the Boon broth. Check out Boon for All.
Yeah.
I love it.
Help us stick around for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to support small businesses with innovative ideas. That's really, it's really important to do that. And it's good karma for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who doesn't want more of that?
Yeah. Right. So I hope we can meet again, Kimberly. You're a wonderful interviewer, great spirit. And you do a lot also. And I also remember you were making presentations to the Sierra Club and other places, which I thought was just fantastic.
Yeah, that went pretty well.
Oh, yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, I was really happy with the level of interest. People were into it, which is great.
It probably needs a follow-up as well. That's the thing. People, they need to form a new tribe. So the environmentalists are in between.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. I did focus on what I thought really would drive home to them. And it worked. People were much more, it wasn't just like, hey, go vegan, here's how. It was like, here are a couple of environmental things maybe you haven't thought about before. And then, by the way, go vegan and here's how.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Well, my local Sierra Club leader used to have meetings in a bar, and he would eat a hamburger while we were there, and he died of cancer young, 3 or 4 years ago. That was the end of him. That was the end of his good works.
Yeah.
Red meat is a class 1 carcinogen. There's just no way around it. You can't say maybe it was that or not.
Right.
Another thing, but it was definitely that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why what we're talking about is so important. So for whoever is listening, I hope we've helped them. I hope we've helped one of their family members or their friends. Yeah. And people could reach out to you or to me. We're both nutrition coaches.
Yeah.
And we're happy to get someone over the hump.
Absolutely. Anytime. Yeah. And I'm going to be in Montclair next month. And so I'm going to check out that restaurant you mentioned.
I'll buy you lunch. Veggie Heaven in Upper Montclair is a Buddhist Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, love Veggie Heaven.
Love Veggie Heaven. So that is one of the options. Or this Faubourg that I mentioned. It's fancier.
Okay.
And it's very, very lovely. And I think that's about it. in Montclair. I'd have to think about if there was any more. Oh,
Okay.
there's Nori Sushi makes wonderful vegan sushi.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are three possible places.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Let's meet
Awesome.
up.
Yeah, I would love that. Welcome back. To connect with Sally, find her on Instagram and TikTok at Boon for All, on Facebook at Boon the number 4 all, and you'll find her on LinkedIn. That link is in the show notes. Additionally, if you're interested in exploring the Main Street Vegan Academy led by the incredible Victoria Moran, of which Sally and I are both graduates and how we connected, visit the MSVA website at mainstreetvegan.com. There's a new cohort beginning this October. As always, the links will be in the show notes so you can click right in and get right there. I hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring. Please subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're loving it, please give Did You Bring the Hummus a 5-star rating and leave a review. It's an easy way to keep supporting the show. Be sure to share these episodes with your friends. If you're finding something good here, they will too. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Did You Bring the Hummus, and visit my website, didyouBringTheHummus.com, for more information about me, updates on what I'm working on, new podcast episodes, and all things vegan. Tune in next time for my interview with Steve Fenster, founder of the organization NJ Veg. Thanks for listening.